Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking, right side. He wants it. A comeback cut. It is caught by Kelsey. Touchdown! Kansas City! One of the greatest duos in the history of the National Football League.
Move over, guys, because it's about damn time for the Queens to take their seat upon Chiefs Kingdom's throne.
6 consecutive AFC West titles. 7 consecutive years in the playoffs. 4 consecutive home AFC championship games. Join us on this ride to keep these streaks alive.
Chiefs Kingdom's spirit is unyielding. Whether we're down 10 points in a Super Bowl with only 7 minutes left, or 3 points in a playoff game with only 13 seconds to go, our belief in our Chiefs never wavers.
So Patrick Mahomes is the king of Chiefs Kingdom, and long live the king. But it's time for this reign to make way for some queens. We are the Kingdom's Queens.
Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to the Kingdom's Queens podcast. We are off of another awesome week in the NFL. Week 7, I can't believe it's already here. We are off of a super fun win against the 49ers, and I don't know about you guys, but that Mitch Holthus intro each week gets me so pumped up because Mahomes and Kelsey truly are the greatest duo in this league. It's just awesome to watch every week. So we are your hosts. I am Lexi.
I'm Chrissy.
I'm Shelley.
I'm Jody.
We are so excited to have you guys with us.
Man, last week was crazy. So I feel like the NFL is always setting itself up more and more by the week. So let's kind of talk about what happened. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I'll jump in. So I'm going to talk about the Giants and the Jags. So I prefaced this game last week are these teams frauds or are they for real? And this game really, I think, answered some questions. I think the Jags are definitely frauds. I'm not saying that they're horrible, but they're definitely not the team that I initially thought they were coming into the season when they were winning and they were really jumping out. I just don't think that they are that team. The Giants, I look at the people they've played, and they haven't really had a tough schedule yet. So they've benefited from a lot of, I'd say, mediocre teams or whatnot. So I'm still not totally convinced, but I definitely think that they're better than the Jags. But it was, watching Etienne, or however you say his name, like he's a really fun running back to watch. And I don't know, like it was a decent game. It answered some questions that I had been wondering about during the season. So yeah, not too shabby of a game.
And Giants are somehow with a super winning record.
6-1. Yeah, 6-1. Interesting. What about you, Shelley?
So, I mean, I don't know if I can really call it highlights what is going on with Green Bay at the moment? I don't know. I mean, so the game I'm going to talk about is the Commanders-Packers game. And, we've got 2 struggling offenses here. And, I mean, Green Bay next week have got the Bills, okay? And they needed a win. And I went into this week thinking, well, they're not going to lose to the Commanders. So they've got to win under their belt before they meet the Bills. And wow, was I wrong. It was Green Bay are 3-4 now, and they are struggling in all kinds of ways, whether it's offense, special teams. At the beginning of the season, we thought that we got their special teams sorted out. We know that it was a problem last year, and it again is looking like it's struggling. Washington had their backup quarterback, who Heineke didn't have, an outstanding game, but it was enough to beat the Packers. And the surprise for me was that the Packers were 14-10 up at halftime. And then really, the second half, is the problem for them at the moment. They just don't seem to be able to get past this second half curse almost. It just all goes to pot, really. So the losses are continuing to pile up for Green Bay, and I don't think they're going to have it against the Bills next week, unfortunately for them. So I think that we can write that one off as a loss for them. They're lacking aggression, they're lacking consistency, and they're lacking reliable playmakers, you know, on the offense. So I don't know. It's a difficult watch, I think, for Green Bay fans at the moment. But it's a surprise, I think, for other teams watching Green Bay. It's not what I expected going into the season. I don't know how they're going to turn it around. The only thing that I can think is, are the Bills going to underestimate Green Bay and go in thinking that they've got the win and make mistakes? And is Aaron Rodgers going to be able to pull something out on the offense? We shall see, but I think that's the only way that they're winning next week.
Yeah, and I have to chime in real super quick. One of my closest friends, he is a Green Bay Packers fan, and he texted me today. So Travis, shout out. And he was like, "Can we get MVS back, please?" And I was like, "No, we're good. We'll keep them." So I think they're missing their receivers from last year for sure. So
I know we were told for so long that the Chiefs would be the ones to struggle without Tyreek, and Green Bay wouldn't be, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
I mean, we were told that at least. I mean, I was counting this week. I was being petty Shelley, and I got up to 7, and then on Twitter people were saying, no, it's 12. In week 7, that's how many times we're being told that we missed Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
But nobody's talking about it at Green Bay, when clearly, you know, I think you're right. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I definitely do. All I'm hoping is they turn it around and beat the Bills, but who knows? You never know. Any given Sunday, right? So I'm going to dive into the Seahawks-Chargers game a little bit, because I think all of us were expecting that to be a little bit of a closer game.
100%.
I know the Seahawks, though, I mean, they are making a case for themselves. Like, Pete Carroll told people all off season, I mean, they were told over and over again they were in a rebuild. He's like, no, we're not. No, we're not. And look what happens. They weren't, and they knew. And not all of us, the Denver Broncos were kind of made the fools in that. So
I'm like really proud of Geno Smith. I'm so proud of him. I'm so happy for him.
He's doing awesome. He's one of this is gonna be a hot take. I'd put him in like the top 7 quarterbacks right now. Like, he is doing very, very well. He's throwing well. He's making plays happen. And I think the misconception with him last season as Russell's backup quarterback was that offense was built around Russell Wilson, not around Geno Smith. The offense is now built around him, and he's really making it work.
And he's feeling it too. He's feeling confident, and you can see it in his play.
Absolutely. So I'm really impressed with the Seahawks this season, and it could make for a really interesting game against us as well. But I will say, the Chargers defense, I'm not like, they make some really big plays, and then they let the ball be run all over them at the same time. Yeah. So, and you know, Asante Samuel Jr., he's had a few almost interceptions against quarterbacks this season for the Chargers, but he's not making the final play on them. He's not making the final catch. And so I think that's something he kind of needs to work on. Like, we're told our rookie corners need to work on that. Well, I think some others do as well. So I think he's kind of a ball hawk, but he needs to work on that. It was kind of a game of the running backs. Kenneth Walker for the Seahawks, he had a great breakout game. He made some really, really awesome runs, as well as Austin Eckler. And their tight end, I'm blanking on his name right this second, but he was making some contested catches as well. For the Chargers, and really they had no wide receivers involved. So that's a little bit concerning. And I think most all of their wide receivers are injured right now.
Yeah. So. And they just lost JC Jackson to a torn ACL. So
the Chargers are just barred with injuries right now.
They're cursed,
and it's a bummer. I don't like that for them. So that's a bummer. But at least they have some playmakers still there. And I think Justin Herbert too. I mean, he's not playing to the level I thought he was last season. And I don't know if that has to do with his rib injury or what, but
Yeah, that
something's
type
a
of
little-
injury, it will linger. That cartilage injury, I mean, those cartilage doesn't heal fast. Like everyone says with cartilage injuries like that, you're supposed to be out for like 6 months to let it heal. So it's the fact that he's doing as well as he's doing, I don't know. I feel bad for the guy.
I do too.
So
But yeah, all in all, I'm proud of the Seahawks and can't wait to see what they do.
I mean, hopefully the Chargers can get back on the healthier side. There's still a lot of weeks left in football. So I know they have a few season ending that sucks, but I feel like they may be able to turn it around come like another 4 or 5 weeks, and that's still primetime ball for them. They can still get a playoff spot, which is crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about Patriots Bears. I think that no one was expecting that at all. No one thought that the Bears would put 33 points up, which is a little crazy. Justin Fields is like really proven to be that guy. I think I called him Justin Jackson, Lamar Fields a few times yesterday because he has so many yards. I mean, he went 13 for 21, 172 yards, 82 rushing, which is a little insane because it's like you're the quarterback, not the running back, but that's okay. But I know there's a whole quarterback controversy, which I think everybody was thinking with Mac and that.
is it Zap or Zappy? What is it?
Zappy. Max Zappy.
But, just kind of being on social media throughout the day and listening to like what Patriots fans are saying, like they're all super frustrated. They're so over Bill Belichick right now. And I only think the reason why Zappy came in is, well, I think it's a few reasons. One, I don't think Mac was 100% healthy. I think they rushed him back for prime time because, of course, why wouldn't you? They probably thought, went into the game overly confident, thinking they were going to beat the Bears. Two, they said that their fan base has just been begging for Zappy. Like, they have been begging, and I think you could tell by watching the game and all the signs in the stands, like how they wanted him out there. And then they let him out there. And, I mean, yeah, he came out the gate super hot, 2 touchdowns back-to-back, and then he went super cold. So I think, like, just from what I was hearing, it sounds like Bill Belichick was just trying to prove a point to the fans. Like, this is what y'all want. This is what y'all got. Look how he produced. Like, it's okay for him to sit on the bench and sit behind a veteran and learn and watch. I think the best teams in the league do that. So that was just really interesting for me. But, I mean, everybody on the Bears went off. Literally everybody. I think it is interesting, too, that Mike Pennell got ejected out of the game for his blindside hit on Zappy. I was like, wow, that's super shady. But, it is what it is. But, yeah, final score of that game, 33-14 in Foxborough, which, again, what? That doesn't even make sense. So,
And there was a clip of Zappy circulating where he was sitting on the bench and he was like singing along to Stacey's mom. And I was just like, oh, he's just adorable.
Legend in the making, okay?
Yeah, a legend.
In the making. Well, I think that's enough highlights about all teams that aren't ours. Lexi said it earlier. We had an incredible game last week. Like, I'm still on a high from it.
Me too.
I know I'm overly excited with all sides of the ball. So let's get into it. Let's talk Chiefs Niners.
So last week, I was really tough on our offensive line. I'll be the first one to admit it. I was not happy that Mahomes had taken as many hits as he has taken so far this season. I was expecting our O-line to really come out and be the O-line that they were last year. Well, they didn't look like it. But then I got to doing some research today. And let me just name off real quick all the elite players that our O-line has gone up against, okay? They've gone up against J.J. Watt, Calais Campbell, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Tranquil, DeForest Buckner, Shaquille Leonard, Devin White, Shaquille Barrett, Akeem Hicks, Max Crosby, Chandler Jones, Diablo, Von Miller, Trayman Edmonds, Nick Bosa. Like, I mean, it's like, look at who they've gone up against, and it's no wonder they've kind of at times looked a little rough. So I think the fact that that they've gone against so many elite defenses and so many elite, edge rushers and defensive lines and whatnot at the beginning part of this season, like the first half, I think that is going to do so much good going into the second half of the season, because at the first half of the season, they were having to really work on tweaking things because they were going up against the best of the best. And so I just wanted to say that our O-line looked fantastic on Sunday. And so I had to give them props because I've been so hard on them this season. And also I think our coaches schemed up a fantastic game plan against Bosa. So as everyone knows, Bosa is awesome. I wish we had a Bosa. I don't care which Bosa it is. I would love one on our team. So, but we all know how aggressive they are. And I loved that they used his aggressiveness against him, dialing up jet sweeps and screen passes. Hello, 3rd and 20, 35-yard screen pass to McKinnon, where they just let Bosa go and they just did a little toss over to McKinnon, which, by the way, I think that throw is being extremely overlooked at how fantastic of a throw it was. I know it was a short throw, but getting it through that really tight window past Bosa, who's I don't know, he's a madman, but I just think that the scheme that our coaches dialed up was fantastic to take advantage of the strengths that the 49ers had, using their strengths against them. So I was really impressed with the game. It was so much fun.
Well, I mean, I think I think it kind of tells who the Chiefs are as a team when every single week, every single team does everything they can to be 100% healthy against us. Like, for them to have a completely squeaky clean injury report coming into this game and then signing CMC and him off the phone and going directly to practice, I'm like, oh, well, all right.
Yeah, and CMC wanted right in that game. I mean, he was like, "Okay, put me in, coach. I'm literally ready to play." Like,
yeah. But I like that in that. I can appreciate that from a player too. So
yeah,
I'm sure he's so excited. Carolina. I mean, obviously they somehow beat the Bucks, but like, other than that, Shelly, what did you think?
So I think it's really interesting watching the Chiefs and obviously there's so many great things to talk about this week, but I think it's interesting how ready people are to write off the Chiefs, and I think there is still, after we lost to the Bills. Now, let's be honest, and we talked about it in that show, it was always going to be a close game. That was the game that we were thinking. And I think, Jody, when we were talking about our predictions for this game, you'd originally got the Chiefs to lose this game against the Bills. It was something that we were prepared for. It happened. It wasn't the end of the world. It wasn't a shutout by any means. So,
it was actually my fault. Sorry, guys. Forgot my bracelet.
Yeah.
Fault. Sorry.
Good job.
Sorry.
Good job.
I'm so sorry.
So, people were still ready to write the Chiefs off going into this game. Are they going to struggle against the 49ers and so on and so forth? And the Mahomes hasn't got what it takes and all of the negativity that we hear. And then we did have a slightly sloppy start to this game. It wasn't looking good straight away. We did go behind. But then I don't know why people are not ready to accept that the Chiefs do incredibly well coming from behind. Put Mahomes on that back foot, because he's going to come out and he's going to fight every single time. He doesn't want to be behind and he doesn't want a loss. And we've said it before and we'll say it again, that nobody is harder on the Chiefs than the Chiefs. So watching them come from behind and explode in the second half was phenomenal. It wasn't a 1 o'clock kickoff here. It was probably about 11 o'clock. Okay. And I was on the floor, on my knees, screaming at the TV in front of poor Dom, who's coming off that Green Bay loss, looking at me going, what are you doing? Why are you like this? It was phenomenal. I cannot sing their praises highly enough. And the nice thing to see is all of the reliable outlets that Mahomes has. MVS, those deep catches were insane. And I know we talk about Kelce a lot. And yes, Kelce is incredible. Best tight end in the league. But it's nice to see Mahomes not just relying on Kelce. And I think that we really saw that amazing display from so many players this week. It was electric. I'm still on a complete high from it, as you can tell. Brilliant. Amazing to watch.
That's how she's able to join us at 1 a.m. her time, because she's still on a high.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Like, it's really just nice to see our offense gelling. And I know they did the first few weeks, but it was like here and there. It wasn't like overly consistent. Whereas this week just felt a little bit different. It just felt like
smooth.
very smooth. Juju was making the plays he needed to make. The blocking was great by our tight ends. I mean, props up to Jody Fortson for some amazing blocks. Noah Gray as well. McCole running on Noah Gray on a block on one of those.
Being patient too. McCole was so patient on those runs.
That's what it takes.
Yeah.
And even, everyone wants to say George Kittle is the better blocking tight end, whatever. Kelsey did his part too. If you watched him on a ton of those plays, Kelsey wasn't the star of the offense this week. He still had almost 100 yards somehow, even not being the star.
They both hit 6 for 98.
Yeah, they both did.
How that happens.
They both did, which is incredible.
Both did, yeah.
Him and Kittle, Kelsey and Kittle. But yeah, I just think, and I think what's really cool too is to see that's 3 people in our offense. I mean, Marquez, Valdez-Scantling, Juju, and them 2 were both over 100 yards, and then Kelsey almost had 100.
Basically,
McCole
100,
had himself almost 40. I mean,
yeah,
like that's really cool to see. And then, not to mention, I feel like we kind of figured out what our running backs are going to do, which is kind of like Pacheco's kind of that first down guy. Then you have CEH, who's usually like the red zone threat, and then McKinnon's kind of the third down power guy there. So they all have their own rules, which is roles, which is really cool. So
yeah, feed McKinnon. I think I yelled at a few times during the game. Just keep giving that man the ball. Love that so much. Yes, Miko with a hat trick. What?
Yeah.
Man, like I love that so much for him, especially because everybody has been doubting McCole literally through the first 6 weeks. So it's like every week I feel like there's going to be a star. Like last week was Trav. I feel like the week before that, well, Juju, he's been breaking out every game. Honestly, like it's nice to see that he's finally coming into that like strong number 2, could be a number 1, like depending on how the season goes. Like him and Travis, I love the left and right punch that they're both giving together. It's like just great to see. I'm super happy about Pacheco being named as a starter this week. I think that just gave him so much of a confidence boost, and you could see it. Like he runs hard, he runs heavy, he runs angry. Like this game definitely was the confidence that he needed to prove that he can be that guy, like Lexi said. So I mean, I'm through the moon about it. It was so great seeing Willie Gay back. He immediately came in and made an impact, like immediate impact. So you could tell that his presence was missed. Him and Nick, they're like thing 1 and thing 2 out there. Like, they definitely feed off of each other. So it's really good to see that duo back. And I just think they're going to continue to this defense. They're trying to make their way to the top 10. And I feel like, we beat some of the best defenses in the league. So why aren't we in the top 10 yet? I know we're still missing a few pieces to get there, but
yeah, I'm really impressed with our linebacker duo. As much as I really appreciated Harris and him stepping in, I think Willie Gay was that missing piece over the past few weeks, because him and Bolton have really worked on that chemistry and built that up. And it just shows on the field. They're both there, like doing exactly what they need to do. Willie Gay, for his size, is extremely quick. Yeah. And I think that's where Nick Bolton lacks just a little, but like Nick Bolton is still a huge difference maker as well. So I feel like the 2 of them together is just dynamite.
Yeah, I think the energy that Willie Gay brings to the field and to the sidelines, to the crowd, everywhere. He brings so much energy. I saw him on the sideline and he was doing his thing, and I was like, "Yeah, Willie!" Like I was just
Willie's like Willie to the defense is what Travis Kelce is to the offense.
Yeah, that's a great comparison.
I don't know. Chris Jones to the defense.
I know. Chris Jones.
Yeah, Chris
too.
Jones.
You're right.
Too.
Chris Jones.
That could go neck and neck because, CJ had a hell of a game too.
Yeah.
He had 2 sacks. Like, come on.
And he's getting him on the edge, you guys, which was a full experiment last year. And he's Whew, I'm liking it a lot.
Well,
We have
and it's
5 sacks total, so I think our defense deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've been giving our corners hell, okay? We've been giving our corners hell. They had 2 picks. Like, come on now. Like, we couldn't have asked for anything more from this defense this week. And I feel like every week they're finding a way to, like, step it up. Like, they're like, oh, you think we can't do it? You just give us 1 second. Like, we can do something else. Like, everyone had a fundamental role this week, and it was great. And I feel like everybody has been talking bad about Frank Clark. Are we going to talk about Frank today? Everybody's been talking bad about Frank Clark, right? And then
We should probably talk about that a little. So we did hear today that Frank Clark is finally facing his suspension.
oh, so late. Oh, so late.
It's a bummer, but at the same time, I'm okay with it coming during these 2 games. He has now he has 3 weeks to rest.
Which
because
will
of
be
our bye
really
week,
good.
and then
Yeah, towards the end of the
And like we
season.
were saying, our defense is looking good. It's looking strong. There are other players. It's not like, oh, you take one player out and the defense falls apart. I think that because of Willie Gay being out, they're used to putting players in different positions and using players in different ways and kind of bridging that gap. It's amazing that Willie Gay is back, and it's just a shame that now he's back and Frank Clark is going out. But I do think that there are enough players to bridge the gap within that defense, and I hopefully it won't be a problem, and I think they're in a strong position going forward.
Yeah, I think our defense has done a really good job of playing next man up. Like Joshua Williams having a big game, and even Jalen Watson, he was stepping in for Trent McDuffie. So you look at like our defense and how much they are those people who are having to step into those roles are really just they're doing their part. And they're being put in a really tough situation. And I think that they're doing a fantastic job. The coaching staff getting them prepared to be as successful as possible. Really fantastic job.
And I don't know what it is about Frank Clark and playing the 49ers, but my God, that man just goes
I
know.
Like, he's from the Bay, right? He's from the Bay, right?
He's from California. I don't know what area, but
no, I think
but I think he is from like Oakland or something up there. So maybe he just has that blood in him. I mean, he has that shark in him, right? So
yeah, blood in the water.
Blood in the water. But we appreciate what he does for us, and I know he doesn't always. He's had his moments where it hasn't been as strong, but for some reason versus the 49ers, I mean, I think a lot of us did this past weekend was rewatch our Super Bowl against them. And if you watch that Super Bowl, we don't win that without Frank Clark. So he's definitely appreciated in the Chiefs kingdom as much as, I know he's had his health issues and things like that, but we're rooting for him. I'm happy to see him after. I'm glad it's during games that don't matter as much, like the Titans and the Jags. For those who don't know, that's who.
Yeah,
that's
don't say.
Yeah, I'm like, don't say that too.
Look, they're not division games. They're not division games, so I'm not as concerned with those 2. If I had to like pick 2, it'd be like a game like that, I guess. That's more what I'm trying to get at. But every game matters, of course. You guys know I believe that.
Well, and he'll be back for the Chargers, Luther. Sorry, he'll be back for the Chargers. So I think
wouldn't you rather have him back for that? So
I'd rather he be back for the Chargers. That's for sure. I want us to make sure we don't leave out our quarterback, because our quarterback had a hell of a game.
He did
123 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, 132 passer rating. Number 1 in literally every single category that you can think of. Pick one, he's number 1 in it. So. Yep. I think it's important that we talk about our quarterback. We love Patrick. We are glad that he is vacationing and relaxing. He deserves this right now during this bye week. So, yeah.
We're forever thankful. Forever thankful for Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you.
All right. So let's get into rookies of the game. Who are you guys picking this week?
So I think we agreed for the offensive rookie of the game that it's Isaiah Pacheco. I know you guys have heard me harping all season long that Pacheco needs more than 1 to 3 carries.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, when I saw he was starting, I was like, I will believe it when I see it, but I'm very excited. But I will believe it when I see it, because I just know Andy Reid and, but guys, when Pacheco gets more carries, our offense looks almost unstoppable.
Yeah.
He is averaging 5 point yards per carry. 5.4 yards. You can just go run him on first down, and you're in second down and short almost every single time. And so he had 2 monster returns. I know one got called back some because of a penalty, but I mean, guys, he helped seal the game with one of his kickoff returns. So I'm just, I love that what he has brought to this team, being a 7th rounder. That I don't know how he fell to that, but I am so glad that he's on this team because he runs like a man on a mission, and he makes our offense so much more dynamic and so much better. And I could just go on forever, so I'll shut up. But I love Pacheco. I'm sorry. We love you, Pacheco.
Yeah, we're all obsessed.
Yeah, completely agree. It's great to see Pacheco getting that more responsibility within the team and kind of stepping up. We do have rookies that are struggling. We all had high hopes for Sky Moore, and I think that it is quite heartbreaking to watch him struggle a little bit. But we have got some really, really strong candidates for this, and Pacheco all the way this week. He's doing a great job, and he's going from strength to strength.
Yeah, and well, the thing about, I love Sky Moore, and I think he will develop, but he was never destined to be a returner on special teams, and he never did that in college, and that's who we drafted. So I understand that that's who Dave too wants to put in, but and I know Andy Reid said he'll still be getting those attempts as well. So I think it's going to be something we're going to have to keep enduring until we don't anymore, or he improves, one or the other.
The thing is about Sky Moore is I don't know why Taub won't give up the experiment. I feel like at some point a muffed punt or something is going to bite us in the butt to where we cannot overcome it. Like, imagine if that happens against a playoff team like the Bills, like if we play the Bills again in the playoffs or something like that, and it happens late in the game and we muff a punt and then they take it in and score, and that's the game. Like, I just don't understand
the Colts game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just don't understand why we are so dead set on keeping that experiment alive. Like,
and I think it's because they don't want McColl injured, and I know they want him for his specific role. So I understand it in that capacity. But then I feel like maybe let's give like Justin Watson a chance, or someone like that could maybe make a difference in another way. Because I know Justin Watson, he played special teams for the Buccaneers before we got him. So I'm like, maybe
what
let's
about
give him a
McKinnon?
chance.
Couldn't
Or
McKinnon,
someone, just something different.
Quick and shifty,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not an NFL coach, obviously, but
oh, you're not.
I know, it's shocking.
Money.
Bomb drop. I know, it's crazy.
But we absolutely love Pacheco. That's our offensive rookie of the game. He is such an awesome player. He's so fun to watch, and I look forward every single time he gets a snap to see what he's going to do. And I just hope we see him on more and more. And I do feel like, though, like I said earlier, it's going to be a kind of a split running back room. But I look forward to seeing what else Pacheco can do, because he's been awesome so far.
Yep.
Who's your defense? Sorry. Yeah. Who's your defense?
Defensive rookie is definitely Joshua Williams with his first pick.
I was looking to see if he updated his profile picture yet, because there was some awfully good ones of him in that interception he had.
I know.
But,
not yet. He'll get there.
Come on, Joshua Williams.
He's
get
confidence building.
Like, and there's some great pictures of his interception too. Like,
yeah.
But again, another rookie coming in on defense and making a big play, stealing the game for us. So I just give props to our rookies. I know they've really been through the ringer.
I've heard for weeks that Joshua Williams needs better ball control with his hands, and okay, but he made his pick, and did Asante Samuel make his pick this past week? No. So I'm just saying hot take there, but I'm just proud.
Who's you got player of the week? Oh, I'm so sorry, Shelly. Go ahead.
That's okay. No. I was going to say, well, like, it's brilliant to see how well our rookies are doing. And like you said, we've got rookies making massive plays, and everybody is stepping up. And I think that's true, not just for the rookies, but for the players that are new to the Chiefs. If you look at how MVS is performing, to see him doing so well on the Chiefs after being quite quiet at Green Bay, I definitely think that players, when they come to the Chiefs, they want to make a difference, and they're given that freedom and they're allowed to make that role. And Mahomes isn't just passing to the veterans. He's not just passing to the people that he knows or he's played with for years. He's giving everybody a chance. We're really spreading the ball around, and it's amazing to see. And then when you look at MVS for the Chiefs and you look at Adams on the Raiders, I just feel that the Chiefs are really good at having this inclusivity for all rookies, all new players. And I think that's a brilliant thing that sets the Chiefs apart from other teams.
Something I said earlier this week too on Twitter was that I kind of feel like Juju, his first year as a Steeler, he made a big impact alongside Antonio Brown. But that was when Ben Roethlisberger was a much better quarterback, and he made a huge impact that season on the Steelers offense.
Yeah.
And I feel like him coming into our situation is exactly what he needed for his career. And so I'm really looking, I mean, he's playing alongside Travis Kelce, MVS. He's playing alongside a lot of talented people. So I think that could be really good for Juju, and same thing for MVS. I think this offense is kind of what he needed as well. So I think they're both kind of getting that vamp in their careers right now. And I'm really excited to see how the season goes for both of them. They're on track for a lot of yards. So
yeah. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Call of Duty Warzone for bringing our guys together and making them so phenomenal with their chemistry. So just thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Call of Duty. Yeah.
All right. Who's your player of the game?
My player of the game. So I really wanted to give a shout out to Juan Thornhill this week. He had 9 solo tackles, 11 tackles combined. He also tallied an interception that literally sealed the very end of the game. I mean, the game was already won, but it ended the game literally.
Dagger.
And he just, he's had a lot of hard hits and tackles this year that I feel like have been unnecessarily flagged. And he's fought through that adversity, kept playing the way he wanted to play. And I think it looks like he's starting to look like 2019 Juan Thornhill again before he, got towards ACL. So I just love seeing how he's fought back through the injury, and, just having those injuries like that. A lot of it is mental because you're afraid to do certain things. And I'm battling that myself every single day. So I love seeing him look like 2019 Juan Thornhill again. And I am so excited that he is such a key piece on our defense. So he is my player of the game.
My player of the game is Juju. I think he is, he opened himself up for a wide open shot from Mahomes at a 45-yard carry. He's at 7 catches, 124 yards. He's scoring. I just think that every time we get Juju on the ball, that something good is going to happen. Juju catches everything. So
Juju catches everything.
Juju catches
That's
everything.
Right.
Juju for me, my player of the game.
Okay, so mine is going to be no other than Mecole Hardman. He has gotten his fair share of,
Criticism.
a lot of criticism. But I will say he was hurt in the first few weeks of our offense, and I think that kind of showed his heel injury. And he said they've been doing a lot of different things to tape it up and make it okay for him. And I think that really showed this week. So I think he was finally like, let me break out, let me do my thing, and let me go score 3 touchdowns. And he did. And so he's kind of like Travis Kelce. He has some crazy stats too. Like Travis went 4 touchdowns and like 20 something yards.
Yeah.
Mecole went 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving. Only for 32 yards, but whatever plays he made were so impactful throughout the game that it changed the game for us, obviously. I want to say how unbelievably clean his jet sweeps were. Patrick to Mecole.
Yeah.
Like if you watch it, you can barely see the ball being handed off. It was like the cleanest little like fake off, and then all of a sudden Mecole's way over here and their defense has no idea where to go. And
it's the most connected I've seen the two of them look
Yeah.
They finally looked like they were on the same page.
They really did.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of the game plan. That was like, this is McColl's game plan to get him involved in. And I think that kind of has to do with the Super Bowl too, because McColl was there for that Super Bowl. And was kind of outshined by Tyreek Hill in that Super Bowl, rightfully so. But I think this was kind of his moment to be like, okay, I'm here. I can do this. Let's go. And he did his clean jet sweeps. He made a few good catches and he made his touchdowns when it counted. And he was the first player in NFL history in a single game in the Super Bowl era to make 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdown. So props to McColl's. You're setting records out here. All of our guys are doing it weekly, but I'm so proud of him. And good job, McColl. Way to go.
Yeah.
My player is Chris Jones. I love defense. Defense is my thing. I'm always going to go defense. 2 sacks, 2 forced fumble. I'm sorry, that's a lie. 2 sacks. He has 2 forced fumbles on the season. He's truly making an impact. Like somebody said it in the comments, defensive player of the year. I mean, I've been saying it too. Like it's definitely like he's up there. I think him and Micah are both like edging over each other. Definitely an impact player. I think us as Chiefs fans, we truly value him being on this team. I don't want him to go anywhere, and hopefully there's some money being talked somewhere so we can get this extension worked out, because I would love to have CJ for another 2, 3, 4 years personally here on this Chiefs team. So that is my player of the game. It is.
And he's the highest rated defensive player in the NFL this season.
Yeah, that's insane.
Even above Aaron Donald, which is wild.
Yeah. I mean, A, the Rams aren't great this year. B, Aaron Donald didn't want to be there. So that's a whole nother conversation. So let's go ahead and get into, we kind of got away from this for a few weeks and we're going to tap back into it. But every week we want to pick a division and figure out what we think their ranking will be. So this week, I believe we are doing the NFC West.
Yes. So my ranks for the NFC West, I think that the Seahawks are going to win the NFC West, followed by the 49ers, Rams, and Cardinals. I know.
Wow.
I'm a Geno Smith believer, ladies and gentlemen. Hot take. Watch out. But, like the 49ers, it's going to be interesting because now that they have McCaffrey, it could be a pretty big battle between the Seahawks and the 49ers. I just think the Seahawks are they're rising up. Their confidence is going up. They're rising. I don't know. There's just something about that team that seems like they fought a lot of adversity in the offseason. Probably everybody was telling them kind of like, the Chiefs fans, we heard, like, oh, they're not going to be the Chiefs. They're going to suck. They're going to lose. I think people were probably saying the same things about the Seahawks. Oh, you lost Russell Wilson. Like, oh, you have to go with Geno Smith. Are you going to try to find another quarterback, et cetera, et cetera? And I know DK Metcalf just went out. God bless all my fantasy teams. I swear I say that every single week. But hopefully he's not out for too long. But I don't know. There's just something about that Seahawks.
They said I think it was negative. His X-rays were negative. So I think he will be back like soon.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Hope so. But yeah, I know, hot take. Seahawks win the NFC West. Watch out.
Interesting.
Unsurprisingly, I've gone exactly the same as Chrissy for exactly the same reasons.
Yes.
So, another hot take. Shelley agrees with Chrissy over something.
I know, it's shocking.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I won't repeat what Chrissy said. Exactly the same order, exactly the same reasons.
I think as the season goes, we're going to be agreeing more because things are becoming a little more clear, I guess. But I mean, I agree. I think it's going to be a fight between the Seahawks and the Niners. The Niners did beat them pretty badly early on, but that was early on. And I think Seahawks are one of those teams that are like really playing for each other right now.
Yeah.
Like they went through so much adversity in the offseason, being told over and over again that they would end up 4th. And it's kind of like Seahawks handshake Chiefs fans right now.
I know.
Off-season wise, because we were all told we'd be terrible. Russell Wilson was going to make the Broncos the winners and, all that kind of stuff. And so far that has not proven true at all. So I'm actually really happy for the Seahawks. I hope they do well. But I think Seahawks, Niners, Rams, Cardinals.
Okay, I go Niners. I think Niners are going to win that division. I think CMC is a huge addition for them. That is going to make a big difference. But would I be surprised if the Seahawks got a wild card? No, because I have them as number 2. So for me, it goes Niners, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals. And honestly, I feel like the Rams could take last and the Cardinals could take third. Just because I don't know what's happening in the Rams house. I think they're going to lose this week. We'll get into that. But I got the Niners winning this NFC West. So
Maybe you're the hot take. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think they're not happy about this loss this week. I think they're going to let that be the fuel that kind of gets them through the rest of the season. They went from being this number 1 defense to getting clowned by the Chiefs on Sunday. So
They dropped to number 13 because of the Chiefs.
Yeah, right. But
And then somehow that takes away from us. It's amazing how that works.
every single week it takes away from us.
Oh, you beat the number 1 defense? Well, now they're 13, so you did nothing.
We're just that good, dang it.
Right? So let's get into these weekly.
You know what it is? It's because we're missing Tyreek Hill. That's what it is.
Okay, y'all are trolling today. Sign up for trolling. I'm normally the troll.
It's the bye week. We got nothing to do, Jody.
It's petty season.
Right?
It's petty season. It's petty season all season long.
All season, baby. All season. All day.
Okay, top 5 games for the week. I want to know who you think is going to win, who's going to lose. So let's start with Ravens at Bucks, Thursday night football.
So I'm actually excited for this Thursday night game. I haven't been excited for a lot of them, not going to lie. This one I'm excited for. The Ravens have not been able to close out games consistently. And honestly, even though Tom Brady does not look like Tom Brady, and I think he's got a lot of distractions, he's someone who I feel like will take advantage of a defense that cannot close out. So I'm actually going with the Bucks this week.
I'm going with the Ravens. The Panthers beat the Bucks. I'm going with the Ravens.
Indy beat the Chiefs.
Well, yeah,
Bring it.
that's true. That's true. I'm still going with the Ravens though.
I like it. I think I'm going to go with Bucks for the fact that they're at home, and I feel like Tom Brady is going to be fired up. But it could go either way. I think it's going to be a good game. I hope it is.
Yeah, it should be.
I'm definitely going Ravens just because they cannot afford to lose. So
I feel like neither team can. So
Yeah.
right. But I feel like Lamar has a better chance of getting to the playoffs than Tommy B right now. So next game, Niners at Rams, 3:25 on Sunday, Central Standard.
I'm going with the Niners. I think McCaffrey having a full week of practice under his belt is definitely going to help. So that's my take. 49ers.
Yeah, I agree. I think the 49ers are going to have this one. I think they're going to want to prove themselves after the loss against the Chiefs, and they're going to come out fighting.
yeah, I think that Rams O-line isn't going to hold up very well versus the Niners. So I'm going to go Niners as well.
I'm also going Niners, which is funny because I think there's going to be more Niners fans in LA than Rams fans in LA. I think they're going to crack it out and it's going to be like a home game for them. And yeah, I think they're still coming off of that L and they are not happy about it. They've been cool. They're just not happy.
Niners fans are like us in the fact that they call SoFi, they call it like Levi's South or whatever, like how we do with like Arrowhead West.
Yeah.
I just think that's kind of funny.
Arrowhead West, for sure. Next game, which is going to be pretty good, Giants at Seahawks, 3:25.
Okay. So I feel like I'm on this like Seahawk bandwagon for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's because Gino's my quarterback. I don't know. But I feel like so the Giants are 6-1. Okay. I get that. But all of their games have been within one score. It's not like they've annihilated anyone. They haven't run away with any games. And I think the Seahawks having a little bit harder of a schedule will benefit them here. And with Geno Smith starting to feel much more confident, you can see it during the game, his post-game pressers and everything. I'm going with the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, this is a difficult one.
Yeah.
Because the Seahawks are doing well, I've put them to win NFC West. But the Giants are 6-1 and they are having a good season. I think I'm going to give this one to Seahawks, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went the other way.
And you said it's at Seahawks, right?
Correct.
I kind of feel like I'm going to give it to them as well. Just for they have that 12th man there, in Seattle is what they call it. So they kind of remind me of Arrowhead. And so I want to give that to them.
We're
think they'll
louder,
get it.
though.
But we are louder, but I feel like they're
Had to
up
put
there
it in
with
there.
us. Although we remain loudest. But
Where do you think?
but yeah, I think it'll be a good game. I would have never expected that in the off season for this to be a good game, but here we are.
Yeah. I'm going Seahawks as well, just because it's a home game. I think this is where the Giants lose one, and that's okay. They can lose one. That NFC East is crazy. But yeah, I'm definitely going with the Geno Seahawks as well. Next game, Packers at Bills, Sunday Night Football. Bills coming off of a bye week.
Are you guys ready for a hot take?
Always.
I'm picking the Packers. I think that this is very reminiscent of a trap game. The Bills should win the game. I just have this weird feeling that the Bills are going to overlook the Packers. And I think the Packers are probably tired of hearing all the noise about how they suck and they're garbage. And those are words from my Green Bay Packers friend. Those are not my words. Those are his.
Rodgers said, right?
Yeah. He seems very confident about the playing against the Bills defense. So I don't know. There's something about this game. I think it's going to be a much tighter game than people are thinking it is. And I think that the Packers are going to come away with it. Hopefully I'm not eating my words next week. That would be great.
I really hope you're right, Chrissy. I would love to talk about a Packers win.
Right?
I really would. I mean, I can't do it. This is going to result in me being divorced.
I know. I was like, are you going to get divorced after your take here, Shelley?
That's the road that I'm going down. But I can't. I'm going to have to go with the Bills on this one. I hope that you're right. I hope that I'm wrong, but I've got the Bills to win this.
I know. It's the realistic side of me says Bills. The unrealistic side says Packers with the upset. I think we all want the upset, of course. How would we not? I think the Packers are desperate for a win. And like you said, it could be a trap game. So I might join your hot take in saying the Packers.
Have they had a trap game yet this year? Yeah, they lost to who did the Bills lose to?
The Dolphins.
Yeah,
So,
I don't consider
somewhat of
that
a
a
trap
trap game yet, though, because I mean the Dolphins were playing well at that point.
Yeah, they were playing
so.
very well. So I don't
Yeah.
think I would consider that a trap game either, even though they've only won two. But, I mean, I'm going Bills. I hate to say it. It really pains me with everything inside of me because I would love to see them take an L this week because I think they deserve an L. But no, I'm going Bills. I think they win at home. They're fresh coming off of this bye week. So, yeah, let's pray for the trap. And then the next game, which should also be very good, it is Bengals at Browns, Monday Night Football.
I'm going with the Bengals. They're coming off a good game. I know last week was against the Falcons, so I take that game with a very big grain of salt. But I think it'll be a good game. Both had very slim losses against the Ravens, so I think they're probably more alike than people think they are. But I'm going with the Bengals, and that pains me to say that. So, yuck.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bengals as well. I think that they'll have that. Their last game, they're going to be riding that win. And I think they're going to go out with some passion and really want to continue that. So, yeah, I've got the Bengals.
Yeah, I think the Bengals as well. They should be winning this one, especially with how they have been playing. I think, they were off to a bit of a slow start, and I totally understand that happens. People have their number, and Joe Burrow had to learn to adjust to different defenses. But that Browns defense, aside from like Myles Garrett, is not looking very good at all. Mm-hmm. So I think Bengals should win that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the Bengals too. I think they're on a high. Joe Burrow was crazy last week. He was insane last week. And yeah, it was the Falcons, but sometimes that's the confidence booster you need to change your season. So I think they win this one. I do think it's going to be very interesting because you know how Browns fans are. But yeah, that's what I think. So, I mean, I guess we have no score predictions this week because we get to enjoy our bye. I'm so happy to just be normalized as a person and a human.
A good reset. It's a good reset for fans too. You know, we've had some stressful games the first 7 weeks. We deserve a break too.
I
Okay.
feel like we need another bye in like 5 or 6 weeks. Like, do we get 2? How do we get 2 buys? 'Cause-
We just get a second bye by getting the first seed. So let's just do that.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a couple weeks off.
I kind of wish our bye wasn't this early, but I guess it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it. And I'm actually okay if we take the 2 seed this year. Crazy.
I mean, I'd be okay with anything as long as we're in the playoffs. So
Exactly. They posted something today on social media that was like, okay, Bills 1 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed would be, or 2 seed and 7 seed would be Chiefs versus Chargers. I was like, oh yeah, we can do that. That's fine. We don't need a bye week. It's fine.
I don't even know what to make of the Chargers anymore. If they sneak into that somehow, then that would be amazing.
I
mean,
think
for
they
them.
will. I mean, I think they turn it. I think they get healthy and they kind of get back on track. I mean, I don't know if they have any money so where they can maybe go find somebody before the trade deadline. Like, I know we're poor, but I don't know if they have money and they might be able to go get someone to help on either side of the ball. That's a conversation.
yeah.
Speaking of that, we will know by next Tuesday if we have made a trade, and I think we're all hoping for a D-line trade at this point over anything.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have some fun news next week to talk about on here.
Man, I saw something also ridiculous that said it's a possibility we could clinch our division in like the next 3 weeks.
That would be insane.
Maybe like the next 4 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
The earliest clinch in NFL history.
But that also means we have to keep winning and they have to keep losing. So
Right.
It's a possibility. We're getting ready to see them in the next like 4 to 5 weeks. We need to tackle most of them. And the Broncos, they're not sitting at the 2. They're sitting at damn near the 4. So the Raiders won and they're done.
I think the Broncos play overseas this week, right? Is that this week?
There's another
They
game
do.
in
Yeah.
London.
They play in London.
Yeah.
Are you going,
Yeah,
Shep?
so it's Jags Broncos in London, and you know it does break my heart to say that there are still tickets available for this. The other 2 London games, or the other London games, they sold out completely. It was impossible to get tickets, but there are still tickets available for this, and they're not very expensive either.
You should go. YOLO.
I know. Somebody needs to tell me to behave myself and not go to this game.
No,
I
you
need
should
somebody
go.
to tell me no.
No,
No, you
Maybe.
should go. Why not?
I support all bad habits. Do it.
Maybe we'll see.
I couldn't unmute myself. I got stuck. That was so scary. Sorry, guys.
That's so scary.
I love
Shelly,
it.
isn't your sister a Broncos fan too? I'm surprised she doesn't want to go.
She is a Broncos fan. I don't know if she would openly admit that now.
Oh,
Who do they play this week?
Sorry,
Who do the Broncos play?
Jags.
Oh, and then they travel to Kansas City. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
I'll just come with them. They can give me a ride. From
Yeah.
London to okay. That's a plan.
It's a great
I'll have to
idea.
go to the game now.
Yeah.
jump in
Maybe
one of their
I'm
suitcases.
jet lag.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Take
Exactly.
your
I'm small.
jet lag
I can
from
see
the
it.
Arrowhead.
It's fine. I'll see you in Kansas City.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, guys, we appreciate you coming by each and every week while we get together to discuss what a wild season it's been in the NFL so far. Visit our Twitter page and follow at Kingdom's Queen so you don't miss a second of the action. There's a pinned tweet at the top of the page telling you exactly where you can watch and listen to our show. The Chiefs are on a bye this weekend, so I hope everyone enjoys the stress-free weekend from football anyway. And until next time, the Queens have spoken.